Hello everyone, myself Soumya, working as assistant professor in CSE department in MLR Institute of Technology. I just want to give a small introduction about formal languages and automata theory. So how it is related to CSE department and why we are learning this subject and what is the definition of flag, what are the different applications of flag. So generally every CSE student feels like only programming languages are important for them and they are the only core subjects for them. But actually we have so many languages like compiler design, automata theory, discrete mathematics which are indirectly related to computer science and actually they are the base for computer science and engineering. In the same way, this automata theory is also related to all the programming languages. So now we'll see how it is related to all the programming languages. So in all the programming languages, we are using compiler, which is used to convert the high-level programming to machine language program, as well as it also checks whether the given program is syntactically correct or not. So to design the compiler, we are using automata theory. So that is one of the application of automata theory, and we have other applications too. So a small introduction about FLAT by taking a real world example. We'll see a small PPT now. So in the curriculum we have the subject name as Formal Languages and Automata Theory and the code is A4CS12. But sometimes this subject is also referred as Theory of Computations. Sometimes it also referred as simply Automata Theory. But the content is same in all the subjects. So let us take a small example before giving a formal definition for automata theory. So we know the compiler will generate two possible outputs, accepted or rejected. That means, so if the given program is syntactically correct, that means accepted. If it has any errors in the program, then it is rejected. So that means here for the compiler we have two fixed outputs, that is either accepted or rejected. So to design this compiler, as we are using automata theory, just consider instead of this compiler assume a automata theory. So an automata theory can generate two possible outputs here. One is accepted or rejected. So if the given program or given the language accepted or rejected. In the same way, we can apply this automata theory to generate mathematical theorems also. So for mathematical theorems, how it will solve? Will give some input values, it will solve the theorem, it will apply the theorem for the input values and it will generate the correct output. Sometimes we may get the wrong output also if the theorem is not correct or else if the input itself is not correct. In that case we may get the wrong output. That means instead of this mathematical theorem, assume an automata theory. So in this automata theory, if I provide input, I'm getting a proper output also. That means it is not like compiler. In the compiler, we have only fixed values, accepted or rejected. But if I give some input, if I give some 2 plus 3 input, I'll get the output as 5. That means we have two types of automations here. One is we have only fixed output and one is changing, like every time it will change based on the input, the output will be changed. In the same way, we have one more application for automata theory, that is artificial intelligence. The best example for artificial intelligence is robotics. So how a robot will work? First we will feed some data to the robot. So if I give this input, provide this value as output. So we should feed some data in the robot. So according to that data, it will work. For example, if I feed the data as 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So whenever I give the input as 2 plus 3, it should generate the output as 5. So I'm just giving the input as 2 plus 3, then it will give the 5 output. But if I try to give the value some 3 minus 2, which I did not fit in the robot, then I will get the error. Why? Because I did not feed the data to the robot. Of course, we have some advanced robots now. Automatically, it can evaluate on its own. But this is related to traditional robots. So whatever you are giving, if it is present in the robot, it will generate the output. Otherwise, it will not generate any output. Instead of that, it will generate the error. So for this type of applications also, we can use this automata. So these are the different areas or applications where we can use this automata theory. So now according to these we will provide a proper definition for automata theory. So this is a fixed definition for automata theory. It is the study of abstract machines and automata. At the same time, it is also used to solve the computational problems or mathematical theorems. And we have another definition for this. An automation is a finite representation of a formal language that may be an infinite set. See here, infinite set. So for this infinite set, we'll just take an example here, a power n, b power n. Assume n value starts from 1, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if I substitute n value as 0, I don't get anything. I'll get 1. And if I substitute n value as 1, what I'll get? I'll get ab one time. If I substitute n value as 2, I'll get ab and so on. And there is no end for this n, as n is an infinite value. In the same way, for this expression also there is no ending. It is infinite. So if I want to store this a power n, b power n value in a memory, the memory is not sufficient. Why? Because it is infinite. I cannot provide sufficient memory to store that value. That's why to represent this infinite set, we are using automata theory. So that is the definition here. It is a finite representation of an infinite set. So if the language is finite or infinite, we can represent that language using automata theory. And coming to course objectives. So what is the aim of this subject and what we are going to learn from this subject? As we have discussed, we have different applications like compiler design, mathematical theorems. So we can design them using this automata theory. And we have different versions of automatas like finite automata, push down automata, Turing machine. So all those things you're going to learn here. So why we are learning all these things? Only finite automata is not sufficient for them, right? So in the same, like consider if we have C language, why we are going with Java? So we have some advanced features in that. Here also same thing, we have finite automata, but we have some flaws in that, we have some problems in that. To overcome that problems, you are going with the next generation, that is push down automata. In the same way, we have some flaws in that push down automata also. To solve that problems, we are going with Turing machine. So like that, we have different automatas that can be explained in all these units. So we'll just see a small video. By seeing this animation video, we can understand what is actually finite automata or automata theory. So here I'm just giving already given definitions. It is study of abstract machines. And we have different definitions for finite automata. So it is a branch of automata theory that is used to represent the behavior model, and it is a mathematical model of a machine. And now we'll take a real world example. Consider a switch where it has two states. One is off state and on state. I just want to represent this using automata. So in this automata, we used to represent these states as like this with a circle. So off state I'm representing at Q0 and on state I'm taking it as a Q1. So when Q0 will go to Q1 when we apply some pressure on it. When we apply some pressure on it, off state will go to on state. In the same way, again if I apply the same pressure, on state will go to off state. But for any diagram, for any language, there should be an initial state, starting state. So here I am taking the starting state as off. So this off state is Q0. Here I am starting the process. And for everything you should have an end also. Of course in this diagram we are not specifying, but Q1 is the ending point here. So I should represent this Q1 with a double circle, which is nothing but the ending state. So like this we can take any application and we can represent that application using automata theory. And this is the syllabus of our subject, 5 units, where you are going to learn different automatas like finite automata, push down automata, Turing machine, and the languages supported by that finite automata and the grammar related to corresponding languages also. And course outcomes, what we're going to learn after completing this subject, after completing this semester, what we are going to learn from this subject. As we have discussed, we can design a compiler, we can develop some mathematical theorems, and we can understand these languages, like what are the different languages supported by finite automata, push down automata, and what are the different grammars we have, and we can design Turing machine or push down automata for the given languages also. So this is about a small introduction about FLAT. Thank you.